Welcome to Divine Telekinetic Faith Part 2. This masterclass is hosted by the Zain Kai Keturah International Institute of Pneumatology, dedicated to the pragmatic and experimental study, as well as the education of the physics of the Holy Spirit of Christ. In Training Video 1, we took a look at some biblical references on faith in action. In this video, we will proceed with simplifying and understanding what faith is with specificity, and how it is built into all saints. Let's begin. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7 reads, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." We all as saints, and even those that do not know Christ, know what it means to walk by sight. This is basically, walking by ocular evidence. Living by what your physical eyes can see. We will proceed by exploring a very basic and simple look at what faith is fundamentally, and what it means to walk by faith. We will then proceed to approach the chapter, that is commonly referred to as the faith chapter in the Bible, through this perspective, and then engage a very simple practical exercise, or activation. An excellent place to start with understanding concepts is their definitions. What exactly is faith? If you belong to the typical Protestant church, despite your denominational affiliation, the answer is usually pretty much the same. That is, that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. A quotation of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. So many believers quote this verse, and have no idea as to what it really means. They can't even begin to explain it in simple terms. For the sake of clarity, I would much rather use the amplified version of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. It reads, "Now faith is the assurance, title deed, confirmation, of things hoped for, divinely guaranteed, and the evidence of things not seen, the conviction of their reality. Faith comprehends as fact, what cannot be experienced by the physical senses." What exactly does this mean? The Greek word translated as faith in this verse, of the letter to the Hebrews in our Bibles, is the word pistis. It is defined by the dictionary as persuasion, that is, credence. According to the dictionary, credence is defined as mental acceptance as true or real. What does the word mental mean? Mental is defined as of or relating to the mind. The mind is defined as the part of a person that thinks, reasons, feels, and remembers. Therefore, if the mind is defined as the part of the person that thinks, we know that the mind is composed of thoughts, and so the next question that arises is, what is a thought? The word think is defined in the same dictionary as to form or have in the mind, to form a mental picture, or to imagine. Therefore, a thought is an imagination. Ergo, faith is an expectant thought or imagination. So faith is credence. Credence is mental acceptance as true or real. Mental is relating to the mind. The mind is the part that thinks, a construct of thoughts. And to think is to imagine. Therefore, faith can be simply understood as thoughtful or imaginative acceptance as true or real. Now that we have identified what faith is, let's pay attention to the rest of verse 1 of Hebrews chapter 11, to grasp what the writer of Hebrews is explaining. We will now proceed to, step by step, dissect the verse, put it back together, expand it, and then invert it, to be explicitly clear. Let's look at each word. Now faith is mental acceptance as true or real. Assurance is a pledge or guarantee. A being certain in the mind. Confidence of mind or manner. A title deed is the deed constituting the evidence of a person's legal ownership. Hope is desire accompanied by expectation of or belief in fulfillment. It is also expectation of fulfillment or success. Divine means to be of God, relating to God, or proceeding directly from God. A guarantee is an assurance for the fulfillment of a condition. Evidence is an outward sign. Something that furnishes proof. A conviction is a strong persuasion or belief. The state of being convinced. Reality is the quality or state of being real. To comprehend is to grasp the nature, significance, or meaning of. Fact is something that has actual existence. Experience is defined as something personally encountered, undergone, or lived through. And physical senses are your five senses. Now, with the definitions at hand, let's read that verse again. Now faith is the assurance, title deed, confirmation, of things hoped for, divinely guaranteed. Faith is the evidence of things not seen, the conviction of their reality. Faith comprehends as fact what cannot be experienced by the physical senses. Does that give you a better grasp of the context of the verse? Now, how about we expand the verse, and look at it, by simply interchanging the actual definitions of the respective words, with the words themselves. It would read as follows: now mental, or imaginative, acceptance as true or real is the pledge or guarantee, the deed constituting the evidence of a person's legal ownership. Confirmation, of things expected to be fulfilled, or successful. Divinely assured for fulfillment. It is the outward sign, of things not seen, via the physical eyes. The state of being convinced of their quality, or state of being real. Mental, or imaginative, acceptance as true or real, comprehends as actual existence, what cannot be personally encountered by the five senses. I am quite certain that after reading through the definitions provided above, that the second reading of the same verse, seems to have a lot more meaning, than the first reading. Generally, I have found that one of the bigger hindrances of the believers, is that they read not trying to understand the text for what it really says, but rather through the lens of their own preconceptions, which many of times are shaped by culture, both denominational as well as societal. It is of the utmost importance, that the believer reads the scriptures, without preconceived notions, and as best as possible, read it for exactly what it says. Nothing more, nothing less. So what did we learn from this conceptual analysis? Simply, that faith is mental acceptance as true or real. Now mental, or imaginative, acceptance as true or real, is the pledge or guarantee, the deed constituting the evidence of a person's legal ownership. Mental acceptance as true or real, is the confirmation of things expected to be fulfilled, or successful. Divinely assured for fulfillment. Mental acceptance as true or real, is the outward sign, of things not seen, via the physical eyes. It is the state of being convinced of their quality, or state of being real. Mental, or imaginative, acceptance as true or real, comprehends as actual existence, what cannot be personally encountered by the five senses. Proceed to training video 3.
This is a production of the Zane Kai Ketura International Institute of Pneumatology. Zane Kai Ketura International Institute of Pneumatology is a crowdfunded non-profit online institute dedicated to the pragmatic and experimental research, as well as education, on the energetic physics of the Holy Spirit of Christ, and inadvertently the energetic physics of all spirit. Visit us online at www.internationalinstituteofpneumatology.com.